Hi, fourth grade. Miss you guys. Just wanted to do a couple music classes with you while you're at home so that you can remember the things we're working on. Mrs. Marsh may be getting a hold of you too just to see if you need any help with your instruments, okay? So we're going to talk about the things we've been talking about a little bit in class, do some fun activities, play some games, just to keep you caught up with what's going on, all right? First thing we're going to do is talk about our composer because I don't want you to forget about this guy that we've been talking about. So in April, we can start our last composer for the year. Do you remember the name of the guy that we were talking about? John Philip Sousa. Answer these questions out loud if you remember the answers, okay? What was his nickname? He had a nickname that kind of went with a lot of the things that he wrote. I'll give you a little hint like this. Do you remember? He was called the March King because he wrote a lot of marches, especially for the military. Do you remember what a march is? It kind of sounds just like what it is. They're pieces of music with a very strong rhythm that were written for the military originally so that they could actually march with them and stay all together in beat. So he wrote 136 of those marches for the military, and that's why he's called the March King. Let me make sure you can see his face here. Not that it matters too much, but you do see him in his uniform because he joined the military so that he could be the leader of the band. Do you remember what part of the military he was in? What branch? He was in the Marines. And he led the Marine band, and he actually wrote one of his famous pieces called Semper Fidelis was written for the Marines. It's the Marines March. Okay, he began playing violin at the age of 6. He joined the military in 1868 so that he could be part of the band and eventually lead that band. When he left the military, he formed another band that traveled around the world to play music. And most people really, really liked him, and they really, really liked his music. Don't forget as well, his other famous piece, Stars and Stripes Forever. That is the national march of the United States. Listen to that if you can while you're at home. See if your parents recognize it, because that's one that we should know. We should recognize that one, okay? He was writing music during the Romantic period. If you remember anything about the Romantic period, we said that it was a time where they could use more expression in their music. It wasn't so formal, the music wasn't so formal. They could use more dynamics, so more louds and softs as they wrote their music. What was I going to tell you? From 1830 to about 1900. We haven't talked about that much, but it was the Romantic period where he was writing his music. You also want to remember about John Philip Sousa, some of these words for what he wrote. We talked about the march, like music you can march to. Does anybody remember the word for a dramatic work set to music? Now this was from the past few composers. A dramatic work set to music was called an opera. One of our new words though, what's a shorter opera or a lighter opera? Maybe not so long, maybe a little easier to understand. That's called what? Sounds like opera, but something sounds different. It's called an operetta. You want to remember that word, operetta. The other little term I want you to remember is a suite. A suite is a group of short pieces that can be played one after another. So there might be 5 or 6 in a row, but they're short, and then if you wanted to, you could play them all in a row and they would sound good together. All right, so that's our composer for the month, John Philip Sousa. We have one more to learn before the end of the year. All right, fourth grade, what is one of the biggest things that we need to do well to be a good musician? Any ideas? We talked about it a little bit before, but breathing, having a good breath is really important for singing. It's really important for playing our instruments. So we're going to start this part of our class with some breathing exercises. We've done it before where we go around the star to breathe. We're going to go around our hand to breathe today. But what I want you to remember is that we are going to pretend there's a balloon in our belly, and as we breathe in, we want that balloon to get really big. And then as we breathe out, that balloon will go back to normal, get smaller. What we don't want to do is this, because I've taken all the air out of my balloon. So as we're breathing in, keep your shoulders relaxed. Make sure they don't go up to your ears. We're not shrugging our shoulders. Keep them relaxed. Go ahead and sit up for me if you're not. And then as we breathe, make that belly come out, okay? Now you're not gonna be able to just touch your belly to make sure it's coming out. We're gonna trace our fingers, but maybe take a look, make sure that belly's getting bigger. As we go up our finger, we're going to breathe in. And as we go down our finger, we're going to breathe out. We're going to go really slowly and give our belly a good chance to get really big with that balloon. Okay? Here we go. Breathe in with me. Breathe in. And breathe out. And go ahead and trace your fingers with me too. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now remember, we're going slow. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Check on that belly. Make sure that belly's sticking out. And breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. Blow it out slowly. Good. We always want to make sure that we're getting some good air into that belly so that we can sing really nicely, so we can play our instruments really nicely. So get a good deep breath before you try to do either of those. But there's a little song that we're going to sing over the next couple weeks. I've been hearing it even on Instagram and stuff like that, just people singing it. It's a really good song for right now. It's called He's Got the Whole World in His Hands. So most of you probably already know it. It's just a good reminder that God's in control and that He is holding us in His hands and that He always knows what's going on. So we're going to sing a couple verses of that. I know some of you are sitting back like this, thinking, I'm not going to sing. I'm not at school. I don't have to sing. But you know what? The Lord wants to hear us sing no matter what. He wants to hear us sing. So go ahead and sing with me. I don't want to be the only one by myself singing here. So sing with me. We're going to sing a few verses. He's got the whole world. We'll sing sisters and brothers, and we'll sing mommy and daddies, okay? So sing along with me. Ready? He's got the whole world in His hands. 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 He's got you and me, sister, in His hands. He's got you and me, brother, in His hands. He's got you and me, sister, in His hands. He's got the whole world in His hands. Mommies and daddies. He's got the mommies and the daddies in His hands. He's got the mommies and the daddies in His hands. He's got the mommies and the daddies in His hands. He's got the whole world in His hands. All right, I hope you sang along with me with that one, okay? Let's talk about the next project we're gonna do. You're going to need that packet of paper that I gave you and your M&Ms. If you don't have them, pause really quick and go get them. That packet of paper and those M&Ms. Raise your hand if you already ate your M&Ms. I bet you some of you did. I knew some of you would. So if you don't have your M&Ms, find something else really small that you could use in place of those and meet me right back here. All right, guys, the first worksheet we're going to work on is the one that says, what do you hear? And you'll notice you have two of these. One of them has a guy on the top and one of them has a girl on the top. We're gonna look at the one with the guy first. Basically what we're gonna do is I'm gonna play either the rhythm on the left side or the rhythm on the right side, and you're going to tell me which one. So you're gonna circle it, and then we'll go over our answers at the end. So before we do that, let's review our counting of these different notes. So these should be pretty familiar to you by now. So if we look at this kind of note, how many counts does it normally get? You said 1, you were right. So if we were going to count this, we would go 1. Or if we were going to clap it, we would just have 1 clap. Or if we were going to use a word to count it, we would say ta. All right? So let's do 4 of those in a row. Will you do 4 of those with me? Let's clap and say ta, 4 quarter notes. Ta, 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 ta. There's your quarter notes. Now we have the rest that goes with that. What do we do when we see this? Right? This tells us to not make any noise for 1 count. So it's still ta, but it's silent. So if we were going to clap them, we'd keep our hands open actually and go ta, or we would make no noise. All right? So remember when you see that one that we are going to make no noise for 1 count. What about when you see these? These are a little more new to you guys. These are called eighth notes, and there's 2 of them connected. So these each get, do you know how many counts if I just took one of them? How many counts would it get by itself? It gets 1/2. But when I put 2 of them together and add them together, 2 of them equals 1 count. So when we clap these, they're going to go faster than our quarter note did, and we're going to say the word T, T. So it would sound like this, T, T. Let's do a bunch of those in a row. Do them with me. T, 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 T. So there's our 8th note. All right, we're going over these because they're going to be on your worksheet when we go to do that one. We did that one. Here's our next note. Do you remember what this is called? Do you remember how many counts it gets? So this is a half note, and it normally gets 2 counts. So when we clap this one, we're going to hold our hands together for the 2 counts, and we're going to say ta-ah. So it should sound like this. Ta-ah. See how I kept my hands together? Ta-ah. Do that with me. We're going to do 4 times in a row. Ready? Ta-ah, 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 ta-ah. There's our half note. And last but not least, our whole note gets how many counts? I almost gave you all these answers without even asking. This one gets 4 counts. So we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, or we can say ta, ah, ah, ah. Let's do it both ways. Let's count first. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it with the words ta, ah, ah, ah. Remember to keep your hands together for these long notes. Let's do a couple in a row. We'll do our counting to 4. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now pick up that worksheet. Pick up that worksheet. So I'm going to go to the piano, and I'm going to play either the one from the left hand side or the one from the right hand side for number 1. You just circle which one you believe it is, okay? I'm not going to switch notes. You're just listening for the counting. The first couple, I'm going to count with my playing, and the rest you're going to try to count on your own, okay? So here is the first one. Did I pick from the left side or the right side? And I will say it out loud for you. Ta, ti, ti, ta. I'm going to play it one more time, and you circle which one that I played. Here we go. Ta, ti, ti, ta. So on number 1, circle the left side or the right side, and I'll give you the answer when we are finished. All right, here's number 2. I'm still going to count out loud for this one, and then for the rest, I'm just going to play them. Here's number 2. Forgot to count it out loud. Let me do it again and count it out loud. Ti, 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 ta, ah. Was that the one on the left or the right? I'm going to play it for you one more time. Ti, 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 ta, ah. So circle which one I played. Here's number 3. Now I'm not going to count out loud. You try to count and figure out which one I played. Here's number 3. There's number 3. I'm kind of mouthing it, so that might help you a little bit. Here, I'm going to play it again. So circle which one I played for number 3. And then we'll go on to number 4. Circle which one I played for number 4. Here's number 4, one more time. Circle which one I played. Here's number 5. Here's number 5. Play that one more time. That was number 5. Here is number 6. Circle which one I played for number 6. Play it one more time. That was number 6. Circle one of those answers for number 6. Here's number 7. My big fingers hit 2 notes. Let me start again. We'll do that one again. Starting over on number 7. And I'll play it one more time. And here's the last one, number 8. Circle which one. This one's a little bit longer. You can see that bar line in the middle, meaning that I'm going to play 2 measures this time. All right, here's number 8. All right, that was number 8. I'm going to play it one more time for you. All right, hopefully you have an answer circled for every single one of those. I'm going to go ahead and give you the answers. I'm just going to say left or right If it was this side, the ones closest to the numbers would be the left, and over here would be the right side, okay? So that it should be the same for you. Number 1, I played the right side. Now, what we're gonna do though, when I give you the answer, we're gonna clap it all together, and we're gonna say our words out loud for that, okay? Some of them will say the words, some of them will count the numbers. For this one, let's say the words, so our tas and our TTs. So on number 1, we're gonna clap the one on the right side, the second column. Here we go. Ta, ah, ti, ta. Let's clap that one more time. Do you understand what I'm doing now? Let's clap that one more time. Ta, ah, ti, ta. That was number 1. Number 2, I picked the one on the left side, so the one closest to the number. Let's clap that together and say TT and tas with that one. Ready? T, ta, ah. Let's clap it one more time, same exact thing. T, ta, ah. Good, that was number 2. For number 3, I chose the one on the left side. This one was pretty simple, right? The one on the left side, let's count it this time with our numbers instead of our words. So number 3 goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's clap that one more time. The other way we can do it is say 1, 2, 1, 1. But let's go ahead and count to 4, because that's normally what we'll use, right? Number 3 goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Number 4, I chose from the right side. From the right side. Let's clap that with numbers. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. On number 5, I chose from the right side. Let's clap that one with our words TT and tas. Here we go on number 5. T, ta, ah, ti. Do that one more time. T, ta, ah, ti. Remember, on those longer notes, we keep our hands together while we count. Number 6, I also chose from the right side. So let's count that one with our words. Clap it and say it with our words, not our numbers. That's a little bit easier with these 8th notes because we haven't really learned how to count them any other way yet. All right, number 6, clap with me the right side. It goes like this. Ta, ti, ta. Let's do that one more time. Ta, ti, ta. Good job. On number 7, I chose from the left side. So let's clap that with our words. It should sound like this. If you need help with it, listen to me clap it once and then you clap with me on the second time. Here's number 7. T, ta, ah. Clap that with me, number 7. T, ta, ah. Good, and our last one I chose from the right side. So let's clap that one with our numbers. So we're gonna count to 4 and then we're gonna count to 4 again because we have 2 measures. Here's number 8, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Clap that with me one more time and we'll go on to our next activity. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, next you're going to need this paper towards the front of your packet and your M&Ms. So get those ready for me. If you don't have M&Ms and you've grabbed something else, perfect. And we're gonna get to this sheet next. All right, guys, next let's get into this M&M activity sheet, okay? Let's review our notes first. You guys know we do this all the time in class where we have to take the magnet and put whatever note I say and be the first one to get it there. We're gonna do the same thing with our M&Ms. So we're gonna start in treble clef. Lay this down. If I tell you the note that I want, put your M&M in the right spot. I'll show you on the board if you are right or not, and then we'll keep going, okay? Let's review our notes really quickly. Good thing about this is you're not racing anybody. You have to get your M&M in the spot before I give the answer away, okay? So remember, treble clef lines. Do you remember the words we can say to help us with the treble clef lines? Every good boy deserves fudge, right? So use those words, always starting from the bottom. Every good boy deserves fudge. The first letter of the word gives you the answer. And then what do we do for our spaces? What do we do for our spaces? Remember, a space note means that the lines are above and below the note. There's no line going through the middle. So our line notes, the lines going right through the middle our space notes do not have a line going through the middle. So we're going to say the word face. Face in the space, but we're going to spell the word face. F-A-C-E. Let's do some flashcards really quick. Answer these as fast as you can. Tell me the name of the note as fast as you can. I know you guys have been watching Becca, and those teachers go really fast, don't they? I won't go quite that fast for you. So this is F. This is B. Guess that one? C for face in the space, F-A-C-E. This one is D. This one is E, face in the space. This one is A. G. F. E. I don't know if we've gone all the way around or not, but let's go one more time. Try to get them before I say them. F. B. C. D. E. A. G. And F. All right, we'll stop there. Hopefully you have those stuck in your head. So now we're going to start in treble clef. We'll probably save bass clef for another day. So we might have to grab some more M&Ms or use something else next time. Of course, you can always just use your finger. It's just not as fun. You can point and make sure you're on the right spot. But the M&Ms are way more fun, right? I'm also going to do some where we spell some words out with our M&Ms. So you might be thinking, I only need one M&M. I'm going to eat the rest. Don't eat them yet. Don't eat them yet because we're going to use more than one at a time. All right, I'm going to give you the name of a note. Put your M&M on your paper on the right line or space. Remember that some of these might have more than one answer because we have an E down here, but we also have an E up here. So it doesn't matter which one you give me. I'll show you both answers. All right, let's go. First note, show me your B. So take your M&M and put it in the right spot for a B. You can use those words if you need to. So is B in face in the space, or is B in every good boy deserves fudge? Also remember, I have 5-line notes. We have 5 lines, 5 words. Every good boy deserves fudge. So I can't use face for that because I would run out of letters. F-A-C-E. I would run out. So make sure you use the right words. All right. I said B. If you put your M&M on the 3rd line, then you are correct. All right, if not, put it there now so you don't forget. That is your B. Every good boy deserves fudge. Your next one is E. Your next one is E. Put an M&M on an E. This one has 2 answers. So you either wanted it on the 1st line or the last space. That is E. Check your answers. All right, we're gonna do a few more here. Show me A. Put your M&M on the A. All right, you should have it on your 2nd space. Hope you're getting these right. 2nd space. Let's do D. Now I also know there are some notes below the staff and above the staff. Let's not use those right now. Let's just use the ones we can use the words for. That way I can show you your answers, okay? Some of you I know have been playing piano and you know some of the, and well, in band too, you know some of those other notes. But we're just gonna use the lines and spaces that are already here right now, okay? Did I say D? I shouldn't talk in between because I forget what I'm doing. D? Hopefully that's what I said, guys. There's D, 4th line. Let's do G. Where is there a G? All right, G should be right here. Hopefully you put your G right there. All right, let's do C. Show me a C on the lines or spaces. Where is there a C? All right, your C should have gone right there in the 3rd space. All right, let's do another one that has 2 answers. F. Show me F or show me both F's. You can put both F's if you know both of them. So you could have put one here and you could have put one here. All right, now I'm not sure if we've gone through every single note yet, but now what we're gonna do is spell some words. Let me give you an example. Maybe I'll say spell the word cab, C-A-B. I'm gonna find a C, then I'm gonna go to the right just like I'm reading, A, and then I'm gonna find a B. So I want to see the word spelled out in notes. Got it? Here we go. I won't use that one since I already used it. So let's do dad. D-A-D. Find me dad. Ready? I'll give you an extra minute. Let me write some of these up here so you know exactly what I'm saying. We did cab. Don't get too far ahead of me if you know all these, okay? All right, so we did dad. Here's dad. D, A. Now we're gonna go back to that D. Do you have that down? All right, if you do, good job. Pick them up. Let's do bad. Find bad, guys. Find bad. Ready? Hopefully I'm not going too fast, but you can always pause it if you need to. B, A, and D. So bad should look like this. All right, remember we're going from left to right, just like we were reading a book, okay? B, A, D. Go ahead and find add. Add. I'm going to put a couple more words up here as we're going. So we're on add. And we'll do all right, so here's add. A, D, D. Pretty easy when there's two of the same letters, right? So hopefully you had this, A, D, D. Let's go to egg. Spell out the word egg. Now next time when I see you and we do base clef, remember we have different words to use for base clef, and we'll talk about those next time. So egg. You do have two choices for your E. So you can put an E here, which is what I'm gonna do, or you could put your E on the top space. E, G, G. So it could look like this, or it could look like this. E, G, G for egg. All right, age. Find age. I bet you some of you, I could say your names, but I won't have already done the whole list, right? You already got them. But we're on, we did egg. We're doing age. Show me age. Age should look like this. A, G, and then you have that choice for E. Not there, that's an F. You can put it here, or you can put it here. A, G, E for age. Do the next one, gab. Gab is somebody who likes to talk. You like to gab. It's talking. So find your G, A, and B. Ready? Here we go. G, A, these go right in order, and B, G, A, B. Now look at the next word. Did we do age? Did I skip age? No, I didn't. We did it. Bag. It's kind of just this flipped, isn't it? So this one should be pretty simple. You just have to change two things. So go ahead and flip those two and show me what you have for bag. Ready? B, A, G. Did you get them? All right, guys, I want to tell you the rest of what I want you to do with your activity sheets here. If you go back to the front page, you have what looks like a bingo card. It's not a bingo card because I want you to do as many of these activities as you can while you're home. And I want you to have your mom and dad sign off that you did them. And when you come back to school, there'll be some prizes for those that did a lot of these, okay? You don't have to do every single thing, but if you have time, go ahead. You notice some of them you can't do because it says practice your recorder for 10 minutes. You guys aren't playing recorder, but you could practice your instrument for 10 minutes. That would be fine. I'm sure Mrs. Marsh would be very happy with that. So if you practice your instrument instead of your recorder for 10 minutes, just have somebody sign that you did that, okay? Make music out of Play-Doh. Make music notes out of Play-Doh and have a picture taken. Listen to a John Philip Sousa march and march around the room. Stars and Stripes Forever is a good example. Semper Fidelis is a good example. Do an activity sheet. These are activity sheets that you have stapled here. Now, obviously, you can't do them all at home. We have to do some of them together. But the ones you can do at home, Do one activity sheet and sign off that you did it. Draw a picture starting with a half note. I want you to get out a piece of paper, draw a half note, and then be creative and come up with some picture that you started with a half note. It could be a picture of a person, it could be a picture of a flower, an animal. Just be creative, but start with that. You have the same thing for a half rest. Start with a half rest, but then come up with some creative picture for me. Save these because I want to see them. Or you can send a picture to me. Parents can send it to email, or you can save them and bring them and show me when you come back to school. Listen to a Mozart piece. Make an instrument from things you have at home. Remember, instruments can be anything. I could put some rice in a little Easter egg and shake it, and I've made an instrument. So find some stuff at home that you can make an instrument out of. Okay, this is what I want to talk to you about really quickly though. Write a piggyback song and write down your words. And you're saying, what in the world? I've been looking at that. I don't know what that means. Some of you may have heard of that before, but most of you probably haven't. A piggyback song is a song that we can write, that we take the music from another song we already know, and we change the words to it. So I wrote one up here for you. This is the tune of Jesus Loves Me, but I changed the words and I'm telling a whole different story. So I could sing this like this. Animals, animals in the zoo, elephants and kangaroos, monkeys, fish and bears, oh my, I see the birds as they fly by. So I sang it to the tune of Jesus Loves Me, but it has nothing to do with the original song. I could keep going like this. Yes, there are zebras. Yes, there are snakes. Yes, there are panda bears whenever I go to the zoo. So it could be short or long, but I want you to try to write your own piggyback song. Take a song you already know, a very simple song, the B-I-B-L-E, Oh How He Loves You and Me, any little song that you've learned at school, and I want you to put your own words to it. So you're kind of changing the whole story of the song. I'm not actually writing another verse for Jesus Loves Me, I'm telling you a whole different story. So that's an activity that you can be doing. I really do want you to work on that one. Take your time doing it, but make sure you write it down and bring it to me, and when we're all together again, we'll sing some of those songs together. All right, 4th grade, I hope you enjoyed music class today. I will hopefully see you again very, very soon. And in the meantime, we'll do some more classes at home. All right, have a good week.